In Nigeria, the topic of dating or marrying a single mother is like stepping into a minefield. Everyone has an opinion, and most of them are loud. Nigerian men, in particular, often avoid single mothers like they are avoiding traffic on Lagos Third Mainland Bridge. But here's the twist: these same men will happily marry a single mother abroad. Why is that? Let's break it down. 1. Why should I take care of another man's child? This is the number one reason Nigerian men give. It's like a national anthem for them. They will say, why should I spend my hard-earned money on a child that isn't mine? In Nigeria, there is a strong belief that a man's resources should only go to his biological children. It's almost like a cultural rule. Your money, your child. But here is the funny part: these same men will go abroad, marry a single mother, and raise her child without complaining. Why? Because abroad, the social pressure is different. Nobody is going to laugh at them or call them names. In Nigeria, though, it's a different story. If a man marries a single mother, his friends will tease him mercilessly. Bro, you don't enter another man's market. They will say, laughing. And let's be honest, no man wants to be the subject of gossip at the local beer parlor. 2. Family pressure and cultural beliefs. In Nigeria, family approval is everything. If your family doesn't like your choice of partner, you are in for a tough ride. Many Nigerian families see single mothers as damaged goods, a harsh and unfair label, but that is the reality. They will ask, why can't you marry a fresh woman? One without baggage? The idea of baggage here is not just the child, but the history that comes with the woman. Nigerian families are very particular about lineage and inheritance. They don't want a situation where another man's child might one day lay claim to their son's property. It's like, why bring trouble into the family when you can avoid it? But abroad, family pressure is less intense. Nigerian men living overseas are often far from their families, so they can make decisions without worrying about what Uncle Chidi or Auntie Nkechi will say. 3. Won't feel attached to the child. Another reason Nigerian men give is that they won't feel a connection to a child that isn't theirs. They fear that no matter how much they try, the child will always see them as a stepfather and not the real father. And in Nigeria, children are very curious about their roots. Imagine this: you raise a child for 20 years, send them to school, buy them clothes, and then one day, they come to you and say, "Daddy, I want to find my real father." Ouch! That's a hard pill to swallow. Nigerian men don't want to be in a situation where they have invested time, money, and love, only for the child to walk away later. But abroad, the dynamics are different. Children are often more accepting of step-parents, and the societal pressure to find their biological father isn't as strong. Plus, men abroad are more likely to see the child as part of the package when they marry the mother. 4. The private part myth. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Some Nigerian men believe that after a woman gives birth, her body changes permanently. They will say things like, once a woman delivers a child, her private part will never be the same again. It's a ridiculous belief, but it's surprisingly common. Some men even refer to single mothers as second-hand. But wait. If this is such a big deal, why do these same men marry single mothers abroad? Are women abroad magically exempt from this private part issue? Of course not. The truth is, this belief is just an excuse. In Nigeria, men use it to justify their preference for women without children. Abroad, they are more open-minded and less concerned about these myths. 5. The pot-belly and letting herself go stereotype. Nigerian men love to complain about how some single mothers let themselves go after having children. They will say, "Look at her, she has a pot belly, and she doesn't even care." In Nigeria, there is a lot of pressure on women to look a certain way. Many men expect their wives to bounce back to their pre-pregnancy shape immediately. But let's be real, raising a child is hard work. Between cooking, cleaning, and chasing after a toddler, who has time for the gym? Abroad, though, men are more understanding. They know that motherhood is tough, and they're more willing to accept a woman for who she is, pot belly and all. 6. The fear of the child tracing their father. Nigerian children are like detectives when it comes to finding their biological fathers. They will go to any length to locate the man who contributed to their DNA. This is a big fear for Nigerian men who marry single mothers. They don't want to raise a child, only for them to grow up and say, "You are not my real dad." In Nigeria, family ties are everything. Children want to know where they come from, and they will often ask tough questions. This makes many men hesitant to marry single mothers. They don't want to be in a situation where they are seen as a placeholder until the child finds their real father. 7. The fear of bad DNA and ancestral baggage. Here's a reason that might make you shake your head. Some Nigerian men are scared of the DNA a single mother's child might carry. They will say things like, "What if the child's father has a history of mental illness or comes from a family with ancestral bondage?" In Nigeria, superstition runs deep. Many people believe that certain traits or curses can be passed down through bloodlines. So, if a child's biological father has a questionable background, some men fear that the child might inherit those negative traits. It's a wild belief, but it's enough to make some men run for the hills. But here is the funny part. The same man who's scared of bad DNA in Nigeria will travel abroad, fall in love with a single mother who has 5 children from 3 different men, and marry her without a second thought. Why? Because abroad, he is not thinking about ancestral curses or bad DNA. He is thinking about love, companionship, and maybe even a green card. 8. The judgment-free zone abroad. Let's be real, Nigerian society can be harsh. If a man marries a single mother in Nigeria, he will face judgment from every corner. His friends will laugh at him, his family will question his decision, and his community will gossip behind his back. It's like everyone suddenly becomes a relationship expert, ready to dissect his life choices. But abroad, it's a different story. When a Nigerian man marries a single mother overseas, there is no one to judge him. His family isn't there to whisper, "Why did you marry a woman with children?" His friends aren't there to tease him at the bar. He is free to make his own decisions without worrying about what people will say. And here's the kicker, when that same woman visits Nigeria with her children, his family will welcome her with open arms. They will even play with the children and act like they have always been part of the family. It's a classic case of out of sight, out of mind. At the end of the day, love and compatibility play a huge role in why Nigerian men marry single mothers abroad. When they are far from home, they are more likely to focus on the person rather than the baggage. They see the woman for who she is. Her personality, her values, her dreams, and not just her past. In Nigeria, the focus is often on what people will say or how the family will react. But abroad, the focus shifts to what makes the man happy. And sometimes, that happiness comes in the form of a single mother who loves him unconditionally. So, what is the truth behind this double standard? Is it fear? Is it societal pressure? Or is it simply a matter of being in a judgment-free environment? The answer is a mix of all three.